I should welcome you guys. I guess you're all from different schools. We've got Fairvale somewhere. Yeah, Fairvale. We got Liverpool. Where? Can't hear. Where's Liverpool? There you go. Now we're talking. Hoxton Park. That's better. What else we got? Lanier. Where's Lanier? Who else we got? William Carey. I think you're having me on. Have I missed out any schools? All Saints? All right, good. Guys, now that we're all friends, do we all have phones on us? Have we all got phones on us? Can you all pull your phone out? I want everyone to pull their phone out. We all got our phones out? All right, can everyone take a picture, then tag their friends, please? That I'm here. Come on, let's go. Come on, guys, I've got to go viral. All done? All right, guys, in all seriousness now, I remember yesterday, I just remember like as if it was yesterday, me sitting where you guys are sitting right now. And I was a kid at school that was doing it very, very tough. I didn't like maths. I didn't like science. I didn't like English. I didn't like biology. I didn't like chemistry. Guess what I liked? Nothing. School did not apply to me at all. And I could have easily quit at that time. I could have easily thought of myself as maybe a loser, as someone who wasn't going to make it in the real world. Very, very easily. And was that self-doubt there? 100%. Did I have low self-esteem? 100%. I thought I'll be lucky to get a job. That's how low I felt. I come to Australia, I was a migrant. So I came to Australia when I was in year 6 and I couldn't speak English. So while everyone else was studying and learning subjects or learning English or maths or whatever, I was sitting in the back of the room going, what are those guys talking about? What is going on in class? I could tell you that did not help me. Right through high school, I was always the kid behind. So I couldn't wait because there's one thing I understood about myself, but my dad was a businessman and I used to watch my dad trade. I knew somewhere inside of me that one day I'm going to get the opportunity to be an entrepreneur. How? I didn't know. But that's not where it started. I remember going to my first job and thinking I'm good in the workforce because I understand trading from my dad. And I went to my first job in Big W. The same Big W that's in Bonnerick, down the road. Down the road. I grew up in Western Sydney. And I remember walking into the job interview and it was a group interview. There was about 12 of us in that room. And I sat down on a big table, like a boardroom table. And I can tell you right away, I had the EQ, not necessarily the IQ, but the EQ to know that I wasn't going to get the job. I could see the lady who was hiring us did not even look my way once. But I could tell you why. I didn't have a resume. Everyone else had a resume. I didn't know you needed a resume to go to apply for a job. I was dressed like a slob. I just finished playing cricket with my friends and I've just run over to Bonnerick Plaza to go for the job. Everyone else was dressed. They had nice shoes, nice pants on, nice shirt. So I worked out that that's not the way you go to a job interview next time. But did I get the job? No, I didn't. Did it demotivate me? 100%. Did it make me feel like more of a loser? 100%. And I didn't try to apply for another job for a long time because I thought I didn't want to be rejected. And I remember one day we used to get the local paper delivered and I saw an ad for a Pizza Hut delivery driver. And I thought, surely I could get that job. I went to the job interview and sure enough, I was lucky. Pizza Hut was short-staffed and I got my job. But I knew I wanted more. When I was working at the Pizza Hut job, I gave them my all. I didn't look at it as it was their business and I was the driver. I didn't look at myself as just an employee. I saw it as the fact that this company put faith in me, I had to give them everything. And I worked it out. Even so I couldn't work out school, even so I couldn't work out getting the first job, when they gave me that opportunity, I wanted to be the best staff member they had. I didn't just lay on my morals. I was a Pizza Hut driver, but I didn't stop there. I would go into the kitchen, learn how they make pizzas. I would watch my manager, how they did their reporting. I would get in there and I would try and understand everything about the business. How they ordered food, why customers ordered Pizza Hut, why Friday night and Saturday night were the busiest nights. I started to work that out. Oh my God, so next day people don't have work, which means you're more likely to eat pizza. There's the football on. I started working that out in my head. And I honestly, a lot of my mates, we still have a lot of mates at Pizza Hut. And I thought what I was learning about all those little things about how we're busy on the weekend, how lunch is a bit slower, how you have to pay so much labour money and how much food costs, like everyone else, but thinking on my own. Because my why was big, I had a fire in my belly. And you could ask me where the fire comes from. I don't know. Is it watching my parents grow up poor? Is it the fact that we were homeless and we were sitting in a truck before we got a housing commission? Is it, I don't know. Is it the fact we migrated with nothing? Because I could tell you that was very, very tough times. And there's one thing I remember, and my dad always reminds me of it. I got my first paycheck from Pizza Hut. My first ever paycheck, right? And I went straight to my dad. And I gave my dad the money. Because I knew my dad needed it to contribute to the families, for the food and the electricity and everything else. So I guess that's part of my why. There's no doubt about that. Part of my why even till today is about being able to afford things, But anyway, very quickly, the Pizza Hut senior management recognised me. They're going, this guy's a freak. He's not here to just deliver pizzas. He's not here to just be a manager. This guy's just an absolute, they could see I was fully into it. I didn't know that at the time because I had low self-esteem. So even when somebody said to me, good job, I thought, oh yeah, they're just being nice. You know what I mean? Rami, you're outstanding. I couldn't believe him. Because all through school, everyone just knocked me. And I just got belted. 5% for this exam and 10% for this exam. And I would try. It's not that I wouldn't try. So I didn't believe it when people were trying to pick up my self-esteem. And finally, I'll never forget this. There's a guy who come out from the States. Well, two people come out from the States. One is Bob Steele and one is Frank Keeley. And Bob Steele was the CEO of Pizza Hut and KFC. And Frank Keeley was the operations manager. So under the CEO. And they come out and they seen my enthusiasm, the way I applied myself to work. And I'll never forget this. The guy, Frank Keeley, he was about 7 foot tall, 8 foot tall, a bit like the Shaq. He comes up and he goes, great job, man. And gives me, sorry about the American accent, but he gives me that high five. And then I truly believed him for some reason. And it was all the lead up to it because we had people come out from the States that the whole organisation was talking about it. I truly believed him at that time. Now listen to the opportunity I took at that time. That was for me, probably, I'm bringing it up right now, this was 30 years ago. That was the moment that really where I felt I can make a difference in this world. I can make a difference to my family. I can live a better life than what my family, my mum and dad offered me. We fast forward a couple of years. I meet my girlfriend, who's now my wife. We have 4 children, eldest being 14, youngest being 8. I meet my wife, or my girlfriend at the time, and I said, babes, let's start our own Pizza Hut. Let's start our own Pizza Hut. And she looked at me like crazily. But we were in love. So she's going, the poor bloke, let's help him out. There's no way my wife ever thought that we would be able to do it. But within a year, within 12 months from us being together, we started our first Riche's, our first cafe. We had a coffee machine, and we had a pizza oven. We understood nothing about business. We didn't understand about tax. We didn't understand about GST, which is the goods and services tax, which is just part of your life now. We didn't understand how to order stock. We didn't understand all about stock control and labour control. Well, we understood it at Pizza Hut, but Pizza Hut gave us a formula. They gave us a spreadsheet. All we had to do was go in there and just fill out forms. But now, what I didn't realise is, I've got to do my own forms. I've got to create my own systems. I wasn't aware of that. And had I been aware of that, I probably would not have made that big step. I didn't even realise that I had to market, because at Pizza Hut, there was Pizza Hut commercials. Somebody else did the marketing. I was just at a store level. So I didn't understand all that. But I tell you one thing, that would have been a good time to quit, yeah? When all those things were facing me. You know, no customers coming into my restaurant because I'm not marketing. My paperwork is not working out. I can't even balance my cash sheets because I don't really have the system for it. It's a pretty good time to quit. You know, you're waiting for a customer for 2 hours before they come in to have one coffee. But I wasn't prepared to. I wasn't prepared to quit. The why, the pain that was in my chest, the chip that I had on my shoulder was not going to let me quit. You know what? People always ask me, actually, and some people always ask me, so why didn't you quit? And when I think really deep about it, it was never, ever, I can't say there's one moment where I thought of quitting. The only thing I ever thought about was, how do I get myself out of this position that I'm in? How do I grow, or how do I improve this position? Anyway, we end up somehow working it out over the years, very slowly. I'm going back a quarter of a century now. I'm going back 25 years. 25 years of work. And here I am today in front of you, and believe me, I still have so much to learn. I have so much to do. As soon as I'm out here, I'm back in the business, trying to work out how I'm going to improve the next system. All right, but the key message is, again, we have the pandemic that came in. We're 100% dine-in restaurant. Everyone used to come to our restaurant and eat, and the Prime Minister gets on television and he says, Mr. Scott Morrison, he says, guys, there'll be no more, you can't leave your house, you've got to stay inside, you can't go to your restaurants, you can't open restaurants, you can't do all that. Again, isn't that a time to quit? Isn't that a time to give up? The highest seat in the land is telling you, don't open your business. No. All that pain and you know what? You know where I was lucky? All that pain that I went through back in school when I got knocked down and I got told no, and I got told you can't do it, and I got told you're useless, and I got told all those things, and believe me, people didn't always have to say them. I saw it in their eyes. Like what I said, I spoke about EQ early on. I could tell who liked me and who didn't like me. Like I could tell right now who's listening to me and who's not. My EQ is next level. Not my IQ, but anyway. What happened was everyone stopped me, and the same fight, that fight that I had at school where I wanted to just prove a point, came back to me during the pandemic. And I said, I'm going to keep my restaurants open. I'm going to keep all my restaurants open, and we're going to keep all the staff on. And everyone looked at me like, how? There's no dining. How are you going to do it? I remembered my Pizza Hut days. How we used to cook the pizza and deliver it. So guess what I changed my business into? A delivery restaurant. And we were so lucky, because what other restaurants did, they all shut down. So what happened? We had the opportunity. We had the market. All of a sudden, people were coming to Riche's. But what's that thanks to? Thanks to the time that I learned how to deliver pizza. Thanks to the time that I never quit again. And here we are today, post-pandemic, with over 3,000 staff, employed right up and down the east coast of Australia. We have almost 50 restaurants, and it all started with one thing, guys. It all started with a kid that was sitting in the back of the class that couldn't speak English, that was failing every subject. That hopefully you could see the why, and hopefully you could all see something in yourself today or where you want to be. And it doesn't matter what's happened so far. You know that you can make a difference in this life. Why is the name Riche's? Okay, so guys, I just got asked the question, why is the name Riche's? The name Riche's, it goes back to what I said when I met my girlfriend. So while we're doing romantic talks and planning our business, she come up with the name Riche's, which is my name, Rami, R-A, and her name being Shannon. She put the S-H-A, and the Ykmour is surname. Questions from the word go. Good question. The first manual? Menu. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So we come up with the first menu. Again, not understanding, remember, my background is Pizza Hut. I've never been to, my parents never took us to restaurants. And all of a sudden I was putting a menu for a restaurant. So what we did was and this is why you don't let things get in the way. This is why if you want to do something, you don't blame your tools. You don't blame your access. Don't say I couldn't do my homework because I never had my computer. Don't say I couldn't do this because I didn't have that. I'll tell you how we started our menu. You know the stove at home? That's what we did. We went to Woolies and we bought, I'll never forget, corn chips. We bought beef. We bought beans. And we made a nachos. And that was our test kitchen. So easily today, in today's world, all the chefs around would go, no, I need a proper kitchen, I need the proper equipment. But again, the key point is, I didn't blame the tools. I was happy with the home pan. I was happy practicing on making my meals. So yes, we did come up with that first menu. Yep. So the journey, the first year was very, very hard. So the question was, how long has it taken for a chase to get to where it is, right? And so the part of the journey is the first year was very, very hard. The second year was hard. The third year was hard. By the fourth year, we started understanding what we're doing. So we opened our third or second restaurant, I think 3 years in, because I always wanted to make it a chain like Pizza Hut. So it took probably, I would say, a good solid 7 years before we found our feet in the business. To answer your question.
My name is Marco. Are you hiring?
Yeah, great. Hey, we are always hiring. We are always looking for good people. And I want you to remember this. It doesn't matter what happens right now. What's happening, you're hearing probably the news, we're in the back of a pandemic. It's hard to find, people are talking, maybe we're going to go into a recession where there's going to be, some sort of backlash where you're not going to have a job. It's going to be hard, let me tell you. If you're a good person, and what I mean by good person, we're all good people. If you're a person who intends on doing well in their job, there's always going to be a job for you somewhere. I really want you to understand that. I'll deal with all. Part of being at Richet's and part of being an entrepreneur is you're not only a restaurateur, you become an accountant. You have to, because that's part of it. So you become an accountant, you become a real estate agent, you become oh my God, what else? You become a marketer, you become you name it. I could think, I can't often, you become a call center manager. So what I'm trying to say is I get a chance to see all different industries. You become a builder. And it doesn't matter what recession, whether we went through the GFC, which is the global financial crisis, thank you so much. We're going through the lockdown where people didn't have jobs. We're going through hard times now. There's always jobs for good people. And you guys remember that. Yes, buddy?
What's your advice on starting a business?
Okay, so the question is, what's my advice on starting a business? I would say, go for it. And that's what we want to see more of. This country's built on small businesses. And believe in yourself. I mean, a lot of you guys here, I just see entrepreneurs in front of me every time because I'm an entrepreneur. So whenever I meet someone, I look at all what I see is entrepreneurs. I guess maybe, I don't know, builders always see builders. But for me is, if you want to be an entrepreneur, let me tell you right now, there was no bigger underdog than me. No bigger underdog. So what I'm saying to you, if you think you can't be an entrepreneur tomorrow, you're wrong. I'm telling you that right now. And my advice, if you want to start a business, is start with whatever you've got. But make sure you go into a business that you're going to love. Make sure you're going to do something. Make sure your why, your hunger is good enough to become a businessman or an entrepreneur. That's what I would say. Don't just say, I want to do business because I want to look like Rami. But don't say, I want to become a businessman because my uncle is a businessman. No. You got to find your why. You got to dig deep. And if you do, you'll make it. That's this. I have zero doubt there.
My name's Eliana and I'm from William Carey. And my question is, how old were you when you founded Rashid's?
Yeah, so I was 22 years old. We probably come up with the name when I was 21 years old, but I was 22 years old then. Yeah. But I had it in mind, look, like what I said, I knew, something else I'm going to share with you guys. I knew from the time I went to my Big W job that no one was ever going to employ me and give me the opportunity that I think I can reach being my own boss. So I guess that was another driver for me. I knew I had to write my own story.
Hi, my name is Laura, and I'm from Park. I'm wondering, how old are you?
What do you want me? I'm 47. But I still party like a 20-year-old. I still play sport like a 20-year-old. And I still run my business like a 20-year-old, mate. I have fun all day long. In my business, sorry, or personally? Your business. Oh, if there's one thing I could change, maybe the name, Rishays. You know, it's been the hardest name to market because what does Rishays mean? You know, it's a name, right? It's hard to just say Rishays, and then if you put Rishays, if we went and did a survey right now somewhere in New York or something, and we asked them, oh, what do you think Rishays is? You know, people are going to say, I don't know, plumbing company or whatever. I don't know. I don't think many people would say Rishays. You know, my wife wanted to call it something, actually. I'll share a story that I haven't shared with anyone before. My wife, her first proposal for the name was, because remember, I was hopeless at English, it was her. Her first proposal was going to be Charades. All right, so it was going to be Shannon first, S-H-A, and then the R-Y. So we could have been easily today talking about Charades, but lucky I was strong, and I put the foot down that day and I said, no, my name's got to go first. So it's a name to answer your question. That's the thing I'll change. And the reason advice to people is try to put whatever business you're going to do, try and put that in the name. You know what I mean? Like, try it. It makes it easier to market to people.
What factors influence your decision to locate your business?
Okay, so you're asking how do we choose a location? Yeah. So what we do is, like, I'll tell you about a new location that we open. So what we do is we find a very similar area that we actually have a restaurant in, and we study the demographics, we study the income, we study we study how people can drive in and out of the location. So that's what we're looking for. And there's actually companies out there that give you a number on what your restaurant sales will be based on the current ones that you have. Oh, do I think I've achieved my goals? Unfortunately not, Ali, and that's a question that I have for myself every day. Like, what is my goal now? I don't know, I lose track of it. I think my goal will be achieved is when I'm, I don't know, maybe a certain age. But like what I said, I got that fight in me where I really don't have a set goal that I'll go for.
What area was the first Rishays open?
Yeah, so the first Rishays was open in Liverpool, just outside the Westfields there. Lebanon, yeah. I was born in Australia, so just a little bit of history about me. I'm born in Australia. I was born in Canterbury Hospital, and I hate my parents for that because I wish I was born in Parramatta Hospital because I love the Parramatta Eels. If you guys are Parramatta supporters. Go the Dogs. And then I lived overseas for 7 years before coming back to Australia, but I'm Lebanese background. So the question is, it goes back again, things get hard, what keeps you motivated? How do you get up every morning? There's challenges, right? And that is by having a good purpose. So my purpose for me is still like what I told you before. My purpose is still giving to my family. I know I have 3,000 staff that I'm responsible for. The 3,000 staff that work out in the field all over Rishays, whether they're all up in Bundaberg, right down to Melbourne, to Victoria. I know I have a responsibility, and I love carrying that responsibility on my shoulders. So that's what keeps me. They're the things that make me tick. They're the things that make me get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day. Yeah. Yeah.
I have two questions. Once I work for Russia, can you invest in my business for 20% interest?
You want me to invest in your business? Would I invest in you? It depends what kind of business you have. Food service? We'll talk afterwards. I'm thinking up, yeah?
My name is Reza, and I'm from India. And which store is the best performing and why?
Oh, good question, man. Who's that? Can you stand up? Which store?
Which store is your best performing and why?
Okay, great. I tell you what, the best store is in Melbourne, in a place called Broadmeadows. And the reason is the team in there cares. The team in there work the restaurant like it's their restaurant. They care about every single customer that walks in the door. They market everywhere they go, and their food is always spot on. So it's a passion they give the business, that's why.
Thank you so much, everyone. But no, Rami's going to stay with us. A big round of applause for Rami first.
Stand up, 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 stand up. I guess one piece of advice I can give is following on. Be there on time and don't finish at the time that's set for you. Be prepared to stay back half an hour or an hour of your time. Leave when the job is finished, not when the time is up. That's what I would do. Yeah, I'll look for people who are going to show initiative. I'll look for people who are, I'll make sure whatever they're applying for, whatever job is actually a job that's going to suit them. There's something that we have at work, about aces and places. So I try and make a decision for the person that it's going to be the right job for them, and I want to see a fire in their belly. I've got to feel that fire that they really want to be there. That's what I look for. For me, it's whenever I'm stressed, I'm a very religious bloke, so I'll go into a prayer, and that seems to calm me down. So I guess it's find something that you like, and for me, it's praying. That's what sort of calms me down. Oh my God, where do I start? No, the biggest thing that I want to tell you guys, don't look at a challenge as a challenge, always look at it as an opportunity. And that's a language that we use in our company. I like positive language, so I guess that's, if there's anything I could answer, it's that. Just look at it as an opportunity, don't look at it as a challenge.
IGNS. Please DM me.
Good marketing. On the back of that, guys, make sure you all follow me on my socials. I've got TikTok, Rami Ykmour. Instagram, Rami Ykmour, and Facebook. So I want to see all the followers. And guys, thank you for the opportunity for having me today, and thank you to all the panel. If you guys can just help me out, please. There's two girls who have come out to help me today. Karen and Dora, can you please come on stage, please? Please, come on. Yes, I need you up on stage. Come on, Karen and Dora, come on, please. Come on. All right, guys, so while Karen and Dora are coming up on stage, they're embarrassed. I need you back on, no, I need you on stage. You're not getting away with it. So, I don't think they're going to get this opportunity again. Come on. So by the way, guys, Karen and Dora are sisters, and it's their birthday today, so please help me sing happy birthday. Can we all sing it together? Can we all sing happy birthday? Go on. Can we all sing? Karen, Dora. Happy birthday, girls. Happy birthday, girls. Yeah. Thank you.
I think I really got like an insight on how to be like an entrepreneur, because like, and you can start from nothing. Yeah, like because there's like a certain impression from like the teachers that you have to go to uni and like start from somewhere, but like you give us the insight how you can just be like, you don't have to like be good at school. You don't have to be good at school to, yeah. And you give us like an insight on it as well, and motivational as well. Yeah.
Oh, I just knew that you cannot give up on stuff, and you can always make it there. So don't give up. Yeah, you can start from something low, and you can make it high.
I learned that you can't give up. Always chase your goals. Never give up. Just chase your goals. Like you're gonna learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward so you don't make them again. You know what I mean?